Well, I was going to say good afternoon and good evening and welcome to Moments of Magic. Gene has a
Apparently, you're going to say it anyway.
Gene has a really interesting moment of magic to present us with, and then I have one as well.
So, if you'll remember last week, if you joined us last week, we did a little experiment of actually bringing two crystals together and having them meet in the center and actually feeling the magnetic pull between the two and feeling the energy that passes between the two and being able to move them up and down. Now I'm doing this myself, but we had done it together where it comes together and it just pulls.
Could we do it if I just grabbed this and kept it?
Yes,
Look at
it's
that.
there's a magnetic connection there right now.
Wowzer.
And so I've been reflecting
Oh,
on this all week, actually, just thinking about it off and on and how it might be used and what we might do with it. And I had an interesting talk with Scoop here earlier today about how he was almost afraid to. He had done it with a couple of customers at our last show, and it had worked, and it was very interesting and intriguing. And we were trying to. He was trying to sort of figure it out, or just flesh it out a little bit in his mind, and he wanted to try it with me, but he was afraid we wouldn't connect. So that brought up all kinds of interesting possibilities. And in fact, the very first
I
time
mean, bam.
we each held the crystal, it connected right up. There was no hesitation, there was no um, overlap, there was nothing. It just went together and it connected our energies. It really, I mean, it connected. You could feel the energy going back and forth between the two of us, and you could feel the magnetics of the crystals sort of pulling the energy back and forth. So I was feeling the possibilities of that, and how if you open your heart to something and you don't hold it, but hold it very loosely without expectation, and you allow something to happen, the connection, when you make the connection, it comes together in a natural way, and it stays, it sticks. And so I feel like, in addition to being able to do a lot of things with this particular connection of stones, of crystals, you can also it's also a metaphor for connection and for how we're always connected, and how when you develop a deep connection with someone, it it's effortless. In some ways it's just effortless. So I've had all kinds of small moments of magic with this one simple act of putting together two crystals. And um and the other thing I was thinking about that I think that I want to play with some more to come on this, is as I was sitting meditating before we started tonight, I was thinking that that magnetic pull is exactly the same thing you're using when you're trying to attract something that you want, or something that you need, or something that you care about. And so it would be interesting to use it maybe as a pull to, or as a way of maybe amplifying that magnetic energy in something you're trying to manifest, for instance. So I'm going to work with that a little bit this week, and we'll let you know how that goes. And then
That
you had a
and that
similar, like,
that's a
related
that's a
moment.
direct segue to something that happened to me in the last 2 days. Um, I was I was looking for somebody's address, a friend of mine. I was trying to find her address because I wanted to be able to send her some stuff. And I was looking and looking and looking, and I couldn't find it. And then I was actually looking for something else. I was looking for some um, stone words, stone definitions. And in the stone definitions, I found this address of this person. And so I was, yeah, I was happy about that. So I taped it up on my in my phone list area. because I don't put it immediately into my phone because that takes more time than taping it to the wall. And
So you
this
can
was
tell her.
this was yesterday afternoon, late yesterday afternoon. And this morning I went down to work and I was trying to get ready to do some work, and I was thinking, about the things I had to do for the day, and the phone rings. And I for some reason or other I looked at it and I did not recognize the caller. For some strange reason. And then I looked, I wasn't going to answer it. So I looked again, and it was the woman whose address I was looking for yesterday. And so I answered it, and I asked her, I said, "Well, why did you call?" She said, "We hadn't talked in a couple of months, and I had this overwhelming feeling that I should call you so that we could talk about something." And I thought that's pretty much what Jean was just talking about, is those ongoing connections that we make. And as a little sidebar, I was thinking while Jean was talking that, this is the kind of stuff that I think that we need to look for in our communities right now. Just because of the way things seem to be, we don't seem to be connected like we all used to be. But as an extra added benefit of actually looking for this address and receiving the phone call, I had this really amazing conversation with this woman about how she's a musician. And so she was talking all about frequencies. And every time she said that, she said, just like you do with the Stones. And then she was talking about, well, there's vibrations. She said, just like you do with the Stones. And I said, well, so basically you and I are working in the same thing. She says, yeah, but you do so much better job. And I said, no, I don't. I do exactly the same job. I can't play a musical instrument at all because I'm tone deaf apparently. So it was just kind of like this very slow, very normal moment of magic between, like two people that don't see each other very often.
And that's how things
And
happen.
it's a lot
And
like,
that's how connections are made, and that's how they're made to get brought together. Well, now of course we can't do it because my hands are shaking.
oh, mine is too.
Yeah, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But when it does work, it is magic. So that's it. That's our moments of magic. I hope I'm interested in exploring this further. I was going to do a meditation with it, and I think that might be next week because I feel like there's a meditation in that as well. Also, if you're in Michigan, near the Kalamazoo area, we will be in Michigan this weekend at the Healing Body and Spirit Expo. So we would love to see you. We always love to see you, and in person. And I think
work
that's
with
it.
your moments of connection.
Yes, yes.
Because they're there. They're waiting to happen. They happen when you least expect it or when you most expect it.
Absolutely. So thank you for joining us tonight, and be magical.